Listen and you'll hear the heartbeat of a universe teeming with force. See all the forms and the faces of nature taking its course. And feel all the wonderful motion flowing through things far and near. Nature will share her secrets when we are ready to hear. Energy, these are a few of your faces, glowing in timeless places, bringing our lives new graces. Energy, there is no living without you. We must keep learning about you. Now is the time to find how to. Energy, you are profound. You make the world go round and round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round.
Thank you, Energy. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope you are having a nice Monday evening. Thank you, Ward and Cliff and EP Idiot Box for the stream streaks. Warren Cliff at 105, EP Idiot Box at 100. You were betrayed by a fruit today, says Idiot Box. I ate a banana. I was itchy and burning all over in a few minutes. Yep, that's what happens. That's what you get. What you get. I can't say I even feel sorry for you. You should have known better. Discount Llama, thank you for 24 months. Congratulations on your Mike McQuanchy badge. Thank you for 2 years. Appreciate it. Thank you to Logic Flaw and Mr. Slap. Happy for following. How's it going, everyone? How you doing? I did not mean to say that like the Friends thing. I don't like Friends. I've never seen a full episode of Friends. The most of Friends I ever saw in my life was recently when I was at my girlfriend's family's house and a rerun was on. And I found it very confusing. But I didn't like it. But I would not recommend it. I can't. I used to be able to do a pretty good giggity. That's the problem. Let's see. Giggity, 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 ay! Giggity, 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 oh! Giggity! I don't know. Maybe that was bad, actually. I can do it fast, at least. I can get my giggities out there. Alright. Ugh, no, I don't want to be him. I don't want to be him. Not a good person. Don't clip it. I don't want to be Quagmire. The Quagmire does... He's just a... He's a philanthropist, if you know what I mean. If you're a Always Sunny fan, you know what I mean. Alright. More Elden Ring. I think I'm gonna probably get the Fia deathbed companion ending. I need to go hug her. The implication. Right, so you keep using that word. I don't even watch that much Always Sunny. It's good whenever I see it. My friends like it a lot. The giant arm. There's that. I think of the weird thing with him and Marge. I didn't like that. What the hell did I just click? This is not Mixmas. I missed by one. Ah. Not kidding. Interesting. Did you know the 3 Blight Club members, Jeff is currently 4th in Blight Club playtime? Yeah, I heard that. That's pretty good. We'll be fixing that. What is going... Okay, I think I discovered what's happening. My controller is controlling OBS instead of Elden Ring. Here we go. Now we're good. That's working. I figured it out. I got there. Oh, right. I look like Shadow of the Colossus. Oh, yeah. So there's a few things to do today. Let's go hug that lady first. We're going to go explore down here. We also have that catacomb we opened up, which is there. And we also have the plateau opened up to us. We got to explore all that. Yes, I saw Kingdom Hearts is going to be at D23, which probably means some news. Though, like, sometimes that could be nothing, but yeah, probably going to be news. All right, Fia. I've decided I want to hug you.
Oh, had a change of...
Yes.
Ah, my thanks, great champion.
Here we go. Not even like just a hug, man. This is full on mommy shit.
You are very warm.
I have to use that. I know
What you
that.
felt light up inside you was a Balderkin's blessing, though it is but a fleeting thing.
I could just
am
use that
afraid.
item and get rid of the
Come
debuff.
back to me, should you require another.
It's
I will
okay.
take you in my arms as often as you need.
Now I think if I come back, there's gonna be new dialogue because I made it to the plateau, is my understanding. But we are gonna use that item right away. See, it talks about boosting poise. They don't tell you that. It also gets rid of the debuff she just put on me once it runs its course. Why? You DM'd me? Oh, about Columbo? Yeah. I'll try to watch Columbo. I do some other things I need to do tonight.
I am pleased to see you again.
We'll get it this week. If it's
Would
not
you
tomorrow,
like me to
Thursday.
hold you?
Not right now.
Katie.
If I come back. Let's go do the one thing, then we'll come back. Guess I want to check out the catacombs first. Alright, let's see what's down here. But if you heard my story about the tornado and I was stuck at that wing restaurant just closed down. At least I had a good one there. Christian, I'm not the one you need to worry about. I've seen that episode. I am going to watch it again, probably tonight. Should I not be here yet? This guy seems kind of strong. There we go. Don't block. Ow. Jeez. Where'd you come from? Oh my god. Oh, yeah, get him. You're on my side? Did that guy die? I don't even know. Didn't think that was gonna hit me. Yeah, I don't think we should be here yet. I gotta be honest. I don't think I should be in this place yet. Either that or I'm just supposed to run through these assholes. I don't know, but this seems rough. Yeah, like, unless there's something amazing down here I should be getting right away. I think I'm gonna get my souls and try to run the hell out of here. Look at all these dead people. Outside. Okay. We'll go down this way. Let's follow this path. Look at Nokron for a bit. Wi-Fi mimicked here. Moog's somewhere around here, right? Or do I need to go into a fucking casket first? I never remember where Moog is. I shouldn't fight Moog yet, but... If I should shed my tears. Who's here? Always be right-clicking. Sekiro Charmless. What did the charms do again? We're going to be doing Mecha Chameleon on Giant Bomb on Friday, by the way, so I'm going to finally get to play that. This place pretty. Makes you need to perform perfect deflections. Oh no. I could do pretty perfect. I'm not using Kuro's charm. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Oh my god. Oh shit. Frostbite. That's kind of like bleed, but with extra steps. Oh, I got a bell bearing. That's my first one. Okay, these shields are annoying me. Oh, come on. Thank you. There, let's get around them. Oh, come on. That's so close to one hit. Might be fun. Again, I probably want to do that Dark Souls Soul Level 1 run first. I like this weapon a lot. This weapon is great. Like, the only other weapon I think I might... Like, I know there's that other katana, and I might try two-handing that with that starter weapon once I unlock that in the melee area. But this could be my weapon for most of the game, if not all of it. What are these? Whoops. Ow. Oh, it's another respec thing, right? I think I need a somber smithing stone 6 for my next upgrade. Stars and stairs, my favorites. They both lie to me. Everyone betrayed me. I'm fed up with this world. Yeah, this is actually pretty freaking sweet, huh? Jeez. Cool video game. Is that where the mimic tier is? How did I ever miss it my first playthrough? I don't understand. It just never came down here. This guy's gonna hurt me. Oh. Got him. What's this? I see. God, another werewolf's here. I don't really see myself needing a respec. Oh, yeah, I kind of do want to try the Gothic remake. I've never played a Gothic, so I would be curious. I wonder if that's a case like the System Shock remake, where it's a really good remake, but like a lot of people who are reviewing it it's just probably not really for them. I don't know. So it doesn't review amazingly. Like, I'm still shocked the System Shock 1 remake's average scores in the 70s. Thank you. I'll praise this message. Okay, giant. This must be something else. Yeah, this is mimicked here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. I don't know how I missed this my first playthrough. Oh, he did the thing that never works for me. It doesn't work for him either. He's trying it. I'll show you how it's done. Watch this. Oh my god, it was huge! You see that? I told you that thing's good. He's trying to heal too. Gee, so many larval tears. Well, that's right. Killing him didn't immediately give me the ash. It's interesting. Thank you. I beat myself good. Oh, you beat it. Yeah, I could have just taken all my stuff off and walked in and then equip it again, but what fun is that? Oh, we must be able to level up, please. Some of these things. I do need to play both of the System Shock still. Gotta stream that at some point. I also picked up Dishonored 2 during the summer sale on Steam, and I want to play that for sure. Alright, what are we trying to do? Let's get bigger to 35, then maybe work on endurance a little bit more. Get that to 25. Funsies. It usually helps to take our clothes off when you want to beat it. True. True. Alright, horseback battle. You. Oh my god, I suck. Oh my god, this fucking thing is gonna run away. There we go, jeez. It's a little awkward. Ah, so close to the somber smithing stone I need. Hey, babe, thank you. Can there be a reward for 100 streak? I don't know what that would even be. Probably not. I mean, a lot of people just hit their 100s and didn't get one, right? I'll say thank you. I'll say thank you very nicely. Is Chuck here too? Hey, Chuck. Oh, here you, Chuck. How's it going? I don't know how to get over there. Blood loss lord ahead. That be Moog? That's where Moog is, isn't it? Maybe. I don't know how to get over there yet. I mean, there's a downward part. Vertigo gift card, their local grocer. This is another elevator, I remember that. I think somewhere around here is a place where I actually farmed for quite a bit. Okay. You can build your PC if you plan for another Disney trip. Oh no. No backstabs, I guess. Oh boy, here they come. Oh, I didn't think that would be so slow. A little faster, buddy. Oh, I just kind of didn't push the button. This is kind of better in a lot of ways. The magic is much weaker. Also, I won't look like the guy from Shadow of the Colossus anymore, so come on. The Miyazaki quote about dragons? Oh. Probably have. I can't remember it now. Where's their bell ringing? They know I'm here, Marty. Somehow they found me. Ow. That rat has a rune arc. It's crazy. Ah, what happened there? Damn it. I remember my first playthrough going through all the trouble of going over there and not finding anything interesting, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. The Red Lobster is closed. No. Hey, Chadulus, thank you so much for the stream streak. Appreciate it. I do need to kill the slaves. I think I have to light all these flames. Well, that's embarrassing. Ow. Oh. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Thank you, pillar. Oh god, greed. Ah, no, I suck. Oh god. Where's that relight those things? That was annoying. Two Miyazaki's most influential voices in fantasy since Tolkien. I don't know how much I like George R.R. Martin, but he's obviously been very influential. God, I missed this last time. Alright, that's already lit. I don't need to kill her again. That's what's crazy. Who the hell's that wolf? I don't want to mess with you. Yeah, I don't know how much I think of Elden Ring as George R.R. Martin's work. I mean, yeah, he worked on it. I don't think he has much to do with the stuff I like in the game. There, that's what I'm doing. Get in there. Hi, Jeff. Hello. Alright, I have souls over here, son. What are you doing, buddy? What are you up to? Yeah, I think he mostly wrote some kind of lore outline. I don't even know. I mean, it's weird because the lore feels so similar to, like, the other From stuff anyways. Like, aside from the extra addition of incest, I'm not really sure if it has a whole lot of George R.R. Martin flair to it. This time I'm not going to miss this. I don't want to talk about it. Did the thing. That's pretty sweet. Pretty funny, actually. I have no quarrel with you, jellyfish. Just looking for those braziers. Something incredible ahead. Why do people die up here? There's something over there. Oh, I forgot I have a new slot. What's robust? This seems pretty good, huh? Greatly increases? Watch a lot of Game of Thrones. There's a severe lack of poison swamps. Alright, so that's pretty nice. Oh, you're watching Masters of the Universe? Of course, what you think. Seems like people liked it. It made zero money. I hate to root against things, but it is nice that that Moana live-action movie isn't doing well. That's good. That's good news. I remember all that. I think we should be doing more stuff over here first, though. Where's that? There it is. It seems Super Mario Eclipse. Yes. Remember Dan? Was it Dan played it and he seemed unimpressed by it. And he loves Sunshine. I'm not sure why. What do you think Disney will pivot to when it came to? I mean, I wonder if Moana's a special case still. Let's see how the Tangled live action does. Because, like, it's so weird. Because sometimes they still are giant hits. Like, Lilo and Stitch was a huge hit still. That's, like, my question. Like, why? Moana is weird because that movie's not very old. And there's also a sequel to it not too long ago. So there's just, like, there's no hankering for Moana. We have enough Moana already, and the sequel wasn't even all that good. It's just too soon. Even Tangled being a bit older than Moana, by like 6 years or something, that's like old enough. they'll get away with that. Yeah, I remember this area. There's some tougher NPCs down here. Looks like such a difficult drop, but I guess it's okay. So yeah, I used to get destroyed here. Wait, we can backstab this guy at least. I mean, even like when they are giant hits, there's no stickiness with these live action versions. Like, live action Lion King made $1 zillion. No one thinks about it anymore. Nobody would watch that version over the original. Except for maybe Dan. Why didn't I get a thing? Working again! I know your moveset now. Get down. Where do you think you're going? Right. The live action element. We had to call it live action to distinguish it from the, you know, better animated ones. But even then, like, you know, that Lion King thing was a huge hit, and they made Mufasa, and, like, that did, like, okay. I mean, it is weird, because, like, Marvel, not doing as well as it once did. Star Wars, definitely not doing as well as it once did. The live-action remakes, if that's going too. In kind of a tricky situation. I'm going to go to the D23. I've never been to a D23. Probably not going this year. Where's it even at this year? Probably not going. I'm going to be busy with some other things. It's hard to pick our spots. Like it's looking like we're probably not going to even be able to do PAX West this year. I don't know. Maybe some of us will go. Damn it. There's the pack. Oh, there's the pack. Behind me. Jesus. Ow. Oh my god. Just get staggered. Bleed. I don't know why I panicked and started swinging there. Instead of just roll away and get him. Live action movies aren't dead. There's 2 still coming out even. There's Tangled and Lilo and Stitch 2. Let's see how those do. I bet Lilo and Stitch 2 will see diminishing returns, especially since it won't be like actually based off one of the real movies. I bet Tangled could still be a big hit. Unfortunately. No. For the inevitable sickness. It's not always inevitable sickness from that. Okay, that guy doesn't come back. Man, I should have killed that guy. That was embarrassing. Careful. Watch out using a great rune. I don't think I've unlocked it yet. I think I forget how to do it. I don't think I've unlocked any great runes, the great rune slot. Alright, bye, Grub. Right. You do them at Sight's Grace after... Yeah, so I haven't been to a Divine Tower is why. Somehow. That sound. I have Discord open. I'll close that so you don't hear those notifications. Sorry. Okay. Let's not try to do a backstab. It's not going to work. Let's just... Here, we'll do our weapon art. Oh, what hit me? What was that? What the hell was that? Oh my god! Whew. Oh shit! That's huge. I think that's the one I need. Watch, I'm gonna find out I need a 7. Shit, this Moana's great. That first Moana movie, man. That shit rules. And the call isn't out there at all. It's inside me. It's like the tide, always changing and rising. That better still count. Thank you. I will carry you here in my heart. You remind me. Come what may, I know the way. I am Tolkoto. No, Disney's not gonna. I mean, Disney's has had these not do well. Snow White didn't do well recently, and everyone's like, "Oh, the live action remakes are dead." And then Lilo and Stitch was a giant hit. So let's see how the Tangled one I think is like filmed. That's happening. Lilo Stitch 2, that's happening. Those two are definitely happening. Let's see how they do. I think the one thing we've been spared of because of this is the Frozen live action remake. Right? I think they now know they can't do that yet, at least. Like if this was a big hit, oh, we would have gotten Frozen right away. Hello. You don't want to talk anymore? You just want to do a Ginyu Force pose? Okay. I'm pretty sure we are coming close to like one of those coffins. Or a boss. Yep. Let's dance. You hold still. Whoa. Ow. I'm worried that a stone gargoyle may not bleed, to be honest, but we'll see. Ow. Ooh. Doing right? Yeah, I was about to say, I'm just worried about there being a second gargoyle. And here we are. I know about gargoyles now. I've played these games. Shit. It's getting really greedy there. What's a lot of souls, too? Oh, this sucks. Damn. It's just a Steak America. I was feeling pretty good until that second one showed up. And again, I can't bleed gargoyles, I don't think. So that's a big problem. So this is just going to take a little doing. We'll see. I really got to, I do have to burn down this first guy before his friend shows up. That's a problem. Is there a horror you actually enjoy? Yes, The Shining and The Thing, I think, are both great. That's a bad start. I need my souls. Where are they? Where are they? Oh my god. Now I'm looking for them. I'm just gonna die instead. Am I crazy? Were they outside and I missed them? Where the hell are they? Where are my goddamn souls? I'm not fighting you until I get my souls. There was like 19,000 of them. Oh my god, they're hiding behind the fucking rock! Run! This is the worst place for them. Jeez, alright, well, now we can fight. Yeah, that's bad timing. Kind of easier when you have the spear out, to be honest. This is not going well. Yeah. At least I'll find those souls this time. Yeah, it's actually much easier when he has the halberd out. The Siofra Aqueduct. I like aqueduct. It's a fun word. There it is. Jeez. Oh, you can do that poison thing this whole time? And I really have to stab me almost every time, huh? Bro! Oh my god, how'd I miss? Oh my god. My health's lower than I realized. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Ah, I mistimed it. Oh, thought he got me. Jeez. Not the sword. Here it comes. Oh, he's here. Oh boy. Yeah, a lot I can do about that. Thanks. Yep. I think I gotta kill that gargoyle faster. Oh boy. Man, if that first run, I could have just melted that guy down. Gotta do more when I get that stagger. God, if I could bleed. If they bled, this would be fine. Alright, there they are. Got to worry about these freaking souls every time as well. That's great. Jesus. Take that, rock. Jeez. Nope. Oh boy. Drink. Oh, jeez. That's fine. Ow. Oh my god. Whoa. That's new. What the hell was that? Not the sword. Oh! Jeez. I'm so toast. I realize my health was that low, to be honest. Getting there. Oh, my souls are going to be really deep in there. That's going to be annoying. I wish I had leveled up before I'd gone in. I didn't really realize there'd be a boss in here. There wasn't like a site of grace or anything. You're all disgusting. Yeah, they're probably behind that rock again. Yep. Yeah. Now we can fight. There was more I could do there than, you know, nothing. It's like completely frozen. What the hell's that? Oh, there he goes. Oh. Okay. That's new. I mean, he's done that before, but I think he's gonna do that. Yeah. I need to start taking it back to the entrance to the arena, so at least when this other guy shows up. Never mind. I'll play on PC. There's I do There's that item, right, that uses... It disappears instead of my souls. How does that work? But the next time I die, that won't happen. Golden twig. It's a talisman. Yeah. Let's do this one so we can get the... We'll get our things. We'll take them to this thing. We'll level up. Then we'll do this fight like normal again. Just make sure we put on our correct one after this. Maybe we're just going to win the fight now. My soul's behind the rock again? Probably. Christ. What does that do? Are my souls still in there at least? Because that killed the twig. Did I lose the twig and the souls? Man, I didn't get to, like, execute the plan. But I guess maybe I'll save from Tolkoto's. Also, this says nothing about... Is that a poison resistance thing too, that one? I don't know. I don't know if that matters. Yeah, it's one of them. It helps. It just said... I didn't quite understand. Okay, let's see. I think they're still there then. So it's okay. I skipped the pop-up. I read it. Yeah, I know, I suck. Okay, there they are. Get away from me. I don't want to be free, I want souls. Alright, great. I used up 2 of my things as getting them, which is what I was trying to avoid. So I really want you to fight me more by the entrance than over here. Yeah, I recognize the tornado at least this time. I am learning this moveset. Okay. Sucks. That was pretty good. Coming, could it do anything about it? Just can't really get in there. God, please. Oh my God. just can't get in there. I'm not gonna have enough heals to kill the Wing Blade even if I get there. What the hell's that? They have an axe? God. Yeah. It was close. It was so close to being good. Should have just rolled towards the entrance there. As soon as the other guy comes, like, he aggroes to me a bit more than the other guy. Okay, let's get my souls at least. I feel like I missed the version of this boss fight where I just fight one of them. You know? God, that didn't hit me. Oh. Alright, yeah, whatever. That was just get the souls at that point. Just save the souls. Save the souls, save the world. God, Fire and Hair both did the same joke. Oh no. Man, my idea with that talisman was so good. This boss range is just so large, it's so hard to, like... It's like the same thing. Good enough. What am I missing? Oh boy. Yep, didn't think so. Okay, I prefer it when you have that. I'm not fucking poison. It's not just a poison mist, it does damage me too. Need to roll into you, not away from you. God. That's faster than I think every time. I gotta be ready for that. That's slower than I think every time. This is too much healing I've had to do already. Comes the other one. It'd be nice if I could stagger you. Target the right one. Like, it just seems hopeless at this point. Yeah. At least I'm close to the entrance. Weapon art will stagger. Yeah, I should probably be using that more. I should probably be using that more. Like, this guy's so big, it's probably gonna hit him. My weapon, I'll show you. It is +5. Man, I could level this thing up if I had my souls. I mean, I could teleport level it up, and I'd have to run back, though, is the thing. I don't know. What Switch 2 upgrade was bad now from Square Enix? My souls are right here. I definitely want him to come over here. If I fight him over here, get further away from where the other one spawns, it's going to buy me some important time. Octo 2. Damn it. Guess I'm not dead. Didn't miss though. I got hit once so far. What do I say? Anything? Yeah. I could have survived that. Maybe I could have staggered. Yeah, the jumping attacks definitely do more stagger. It's just sometimes there's not really maybe quite enough time. I think I'm seeing some better windows to do the full weapon art. I'm getting there. Again, fighting him by the entrance is good because it'll give me more time. It'll make it easier to collect my souls. Give me more time to do the thing. I was like, where the fuck are they? They're there. Yeah, like fighting him over here is better. I would like to see that. Oh, that's the other one, damn it. That's always slower. That's good. I always roll too soon there. Damn it. I got him! Getting there. I got one of them. Maybe he won't come back. The poison sucked there, man. You're alerting. Tip time? You give me a tip. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm doing fine, honestly. That's right, they're over here. I'm not too worried. They can fall off the waterfall. I don't think I'm going to cheese them. Nah, I don't want to do that. No. I'm not really interested in doing cheese. That's okay. I think it kind of defeats the purpose of doing like a no summon challenge run if I'm just going to cheat, not cheat, but use a cheap tactic to kill a boss. I mean, I'm not using a magic build, that's correct. But to be clear, I'm having fun. You know, I'm learning a fight. It's hard. It's, you know, it's nice. I could try weapon grease. I usually never use that stuff. It's kind of a to-do. Damn it. Oh, that hit him, at least. Oh, bullshit. This guy's gotta almost be staggered. No, fucking hell, and I gotta roll away. Damn it. Oh, this poison's gonna kill me. Ah. Yeah, just kind of got unlucky there. I didn't get that stagger off. Learning. I don't even have a rune equipped, so Rune Arc's not going to do anything. You know, look, if I knew there was a boss here, I would have done some other things before going in here for sure. Here we go. What if I can put my deck? If I put any gloves or feet on, I go to medium rolls, which is bad. You're wondering why I was wearing those. Oh, here she comes. This. Look how cool it is now. Like, I'm dodging all these moves. It's neat, right? It's fun. Need you to come over here. Come here. Damn it. Oh my god, how'd that miss? It's going really well. I got mad. Yeah, after this, we'll go to one of those things. We'll actually be able to equip a rune arc, and we'll level up my weapon. All sorts of things. All sorts of things that are going to help. The scary thing is, after I kill this guy, I still need to learn the other gargoyle. It does not seem to have the same moveset. But at least we can take our time. Oh, there we go. Right there. Ow. Yeah, that's good. wish I didn't get hit there. I'm too greedy now. Oh my god. Oh my god, they both did the fucking poison thing and I was totally caught in it. Ugh. I really need to, like, not get that greedy when the second one shows up. Maybe run away, see if I can separate them. But my ability to burn this guy is probably not amazing. Burn this guy down, I mean. Yeah, if they could bleed, I'd be fine. There. Oh, bad start on that one. Yeah, what's so valiant about these guys? The fact that they team up against me in an unfair fight? Is that the valiant aspect? Always a little scary, but we get there. Oh, bullshit. I even know about that last one. Not a great start. All right, we're falling off a little bit. We'll get back into it. Don't worry, everybody. Oh, I'm sure blunt weapons probably work good. I don't have one of those leveled up though. Yeah, I thought I was a little early there. Oh, bullshit. That one always gets me. Oh my god. Hey, Wonder Fungus. Alright. I don't know why it's getting worse all of a sudden. Maybe I should stop fighting him in this weird place with the hill. Might help. I don't know. I probably should just go level up my weapon and then run back here. I killed the big guy. Something's gonna kill me. I can use some of my consumables to afford it. It'll be fine. Come on. I hate when I don't get my swing in. Oh, what the... I didn't realize it was that one, damn it. If I had rolled away from there, might have been in decent shape. Right, let's go level up our weapon. We guys got a little something here. And we have to run back here. But it's fine. Oh, can I just bone home? I always forget how bones even work in these games. I'm like, I gotta be honest. I thought homeward bones made you lose your souls. I don't know if I've ever used homeward bone before. Where are they? I'm not gonna switch my weapon. I'm not gonna do that. We're fine. I don't even know what they're calling this game. Do I even have any of these items? Again, it looked like no. Yeah, whatever homeward bones are in these games. Yeah, you're not going to get me that, Dro. Yeah, I don't think I even have one. That's alright. I don't think you can warp in the middle of a boss fight. I assume not. Anyways. I'm not going to quit out. That seems like it's for quitters. So we're just going to do this. Wait. I don't think I need that many. It's probably 2,500 is good enough. Well, I already did use a twig and lost it before I could get my runes.
Well, I took you for no matter. It's out your own.
So we got this. Oh, my strength scaling goes up. Interesting. I could technically level up my strength and... Oh, the next one puts my dex to B. That's huge. Wish I had that. Oh, this guy's gone. Was he dead? Who killed him? Oh, that's right. That's the guy who fought Erping earlier. I don't want to give her that potion. You tell me if I should, chat. I think that potion is bad. I don't trust that dude. What kind of stuff does she have? Maybe she has one of these bones. Not really. Doesn't seem to have much. Yeah, I'm not giving his mystery potions to people just because he tells me to. Okay. We're good. Right, it's fine. We upgrade our weapon. That's the important thing. Let's go back. Here she comes. A little bit of a walk. Talk to Gideon. Okay. Let's just not die. Let's not fall or die or anything like that. Am I gonna kill Poo Poo Man on sight? And if I'm not doing his ending, should I? Just, yeah. I mean, I don't want to do... He just wants to keep this world around and make it worse, and it's already a pretty bad world. Not to judge people's worlds, but I'm not impressed. Should have done this way earlier, huh? Alright, now I have even more souls I can use. Or lose. Oh my god, two-hand! I remember, here we go! I got there. Ah, damn it. I think it is more damage, you can tell. Get him. Worth it. Oh no. Oh, that was supposed to stagger you. Stagger, you son of a bitch. Now! There you go. Don't poison me. No! I can't even see him! No! Come on! Just let me kill him and get out of there! For the love of God! Come on! It's so close! Why does he have to do that fucking poison thing? We're getting there. I am doing more damage. It's fine. I mean, it's a good thing that staggered's delayed, honestly. I want to do it after that guy spawns. It's better. What the hell is that? Why do I hold it? What did I just say? Chips, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I just lost the ability to speak for a second there. What the hell? Again, it is better to fight him more on the other side than this side. So it's hard to get him over there because my souls are over there. Okay, here we go. Come on. No, not this. Come on. Come here. Come here. I always go too early there. Should have healed. What's that? Ah. Yeah, got kind of stuck there. Shouldn't have done that. Hey, we haven't lost these souls yet, alright? There's that. That part's good. Oh, no! Oh, the guy hasn't spawned yet, though. There he is. Oh, that did some damage. Damn it. Here he comes. Whoa! Well. Alright, if I had hit that stagger hit there, that may have been very different, but I didn't. It's getting there. I just need to kill this guy, then cleanly be able to heal and engage the second one. Then we can take all the time in the world with him. And you also need to not fight him on this cliff. That obviously is not doing me any favors. That's good. Whoa. Bullshit. That was early. Almost like too early. Like, what is even happening? Can't even see that poison. Oh, for the love of God, please die! Where are you? Okay. I have learned something. When they die, they expel a lot of poison gas. I need to run the fuck away as soon as they die also, apparently. We're learning something. The final fart, people are calling it. Oh, my souls are all the way over there. That's great. Come over here. That was wrong. Jesus. Come on. Jesus. This is gonna be hard to get the stagger now. Left him alone for so long. And also that. hit him with that? Oh my god. You had to try it. Oh bullshit. I've still got poisoned. What are you doing over there, buddy? This is a big problem. It'd be shocking if this ends up being any good. I thought I was going to dodge that. I should have been walking towards the door that whole time. I never got a stagger on him. That was the problem that time. My weapon arts weren't connecting. Turn around. Every now and then you get a little bit mocky. Turn it back around. What the hell? Hit the button. Yeah. Sure like doing that all of a sudden. I don't really mind it. Come on, what do you got? Of course, now I don't know this guy's moves at all. That's a problem. Got hammer? Axe? What is that about? Oh, that was lucky. Okay. Ow. Fine. What was that? How did that not hit? Oh my god. Please stagger. Okay, it's fine. Fine. just healed. It's close. We almost got there. Look, that's the first time I've ever seen that guy's moveset, at least. So I'm learning it. We're getting there. Jeez. The hammer seems preferable to the twin blades. I don't know. Yeah, we're... Okay. My souls aren't too far away. Could have killed me, honestly. Could have been worse. God. Damn it. Wondering why I'm not doing the jump attack sometimes. Even though it does work damage and stagger, that's why. Kind of just whiffs. These guys kind of backstep a lot, or just kind of walk backwards a lot. A lot of damage already. By him too, I guess. See, like that. Oh my god. Dead. This is a bad situation. I might be fucking dead right now. Yep. I mean, I just got kind of... Ugh. Really gotta kill him. Yeah, maybe I just run at that point and hope he gets separated again at some point. I mean, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to fight the other one for a moment. I don't know. But I do... If once they're together, I gotta give up on the idea of rushing on the other one. It's over. Which of them is Jason Alexander? Which one's... Where's my... There. Ooh. Alright. I didn't like that one anyways. We got it. shitty start. Didn't want that flask back, I bet. Cool. Oh my god. That just kill me. Just, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Thank you. We'll try that one again. Well, yeah, I'm dead, buddy. You got me. You got me. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just making sure. Just double tapping. I get it. I mean, what would their next single-player game be? Miyazaki's been directing Duskbloods. Who's making the other single-player one? I don't think it happens in the Game Awards. I think it's too early. Wait, he's directing Duskbloods. Okay, good starting damage here. Like that. Damn it. That was stupid. Yeah. Thanks, Sloppy. I'm pretty sure I believe the understanding is he's directing Duskbloods properly. What I've been told anyways. Aggro here. And I did this part really fast. But that guy still spawns. Both poison. How is that poison still touching me? Oh my god. Please. Oh my god. Just die. I was even trying to not be that greedy. Oh, it's just so hard once there's two of them. Jump attacks, I think. that time. This is a problem. This is a big problem. There's not nearly enough health down on that guy. Just gotta fight whoever's gonna come at me, I guess. This guy, stop it with the fucking poison. But like on top of everything else, they really gotta do the poison thing. How is it reaching me from over here? Oh, whatever. That wasn't happening. I know poison keeps building. I couldn't believe the poison was still reaching me from their cloud. They were very far away. Thought. Yeah, we did hug the deaf lady. We've been stuck here for a bit. I have too many souls stuck here to give up, I'm afraid. Oh my god. Why do I even do that stupid move? Oh, really? Alright, that's alright. My bad. No worries, no worries, no worries. Who's worried? Turns out this is most of the stream today. I was so close that one time. It can be done. We got close that one time. It's just a matter of getting this first gargoyle killed at the right time. Hopefully staggering him right at half health. I had a twig. I lost it. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I don't deserve a twig anymore. I checked. The lady didn't have one anyways. No, I controlled. Stop with the fucking. I can hit his head when he does that. That's nice. Right. Oh, that man thing was gonna hit me. Oh, the other one's here already. Great. Hi. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna happen there. Yeah, we got this. We're good. I'm not gonna quit after picking my runes like a coward or something. Oops. Two-handed. Oh, bullshit. Something I would stagger him there before that happened, but not so much. Oh my god, how did that... Always have that problem. Yeah, I thought that's what was gonna happen there. I saw that. As soon as I pushed that button, like, I think he's gonna hit me with the sword before I hit him with mine. There's kind of some big whiffs on that one. I need to just wash my feet. It's probably disgusting. Good start. Come on, get the thing! Do the thing! What was that? Fucking cliff got me, I think. Ugh, couldn't heal either. My bad, I panicked afterwards. Probably so much damage, I probably shouldn't have been that worried. Just roll out of there and healed. And at last I've seen the mind. Oh, that's not right. Well, oh well. I can't go back to a site of grace, actually. Who needs that? We just won't get hit. Well, one hit as a treat, yeah. Poison. Man, I just can't make the escape. I just can't. Come on. How unlucky is that? How unlucky is that? Okay, I couldn't do anything. Man. Why, Mike? Why? Literally the Y button. Anyways, try that again. Y, not X. Y. Hi, Dan. Everything's going great. I don't want to know how many times I died as boss. If anybody tells me they're banned. My health was lower than I thought. Shut up, Baron. There's no third gargoyle. I'm not stupid. Third gargoyle. Give me a break. They wouldn't. Well, I could perhaps summon some kind of friend or NPC to help me. Does he really not know? Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Stuck there for a moment. Oh my god. Hit him with this. Oh, he's dead. I'm dead. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Oh, come on. This guy's gonna come soon. Next hit. Get over here. I don't think the stagger's happening now. Oh my god. Cool. Here he comes. Oh my god. I had to try to force a stagger there. That was my only hope. Well, good. Why am I still hearing Discord? I thought I closed Discord. Here she comes. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. 1 second. Sorry about that. He's a man-eater. I do have Discord closed? What are these noises? There it is. Quit Discord. There you go. That was you. Chuck, how dare you? It's not a Yahoo toolbar. Not the toolbar. Nice to get him to kill some of these stalagmites on his way. Uzumovarian? What does he do? Oh my god. I can't believe I didn't get the stagger. Well, why did I? Oh my god. Damn it! I keep accidentally buffering this second heavy attack after my jump one. I need to really stop doing that. Wow, that's happening. Yeah. I gotta really learn when to not do the jump attack, because sometimes it just doesn't reach him. And thanks for saying this is the run, Chuck. 5 seconds before I died. Yeah, this time for sure, maybe. Cool boss arena, though, right? It looks neat. That needs a lot of healing already. Oh my god. With my staggers. Here he comes. Don't do that. You need to come here, buddy. Alright. Now, this guy's like speed running his way to me. Oh, these guys not even halfway. This is awful. Yeah, of course that whiffs. Oh, here comes the poison. Yeah, no chance. No chance. Like, sometimes he takes a little bit longer to get over to me. That time, he was just running. We live here now, maybe. Oh, God, Micah, that feels so bad. Feeling it hit. Awful start. All right, I know what to do now. Don't worry. You think he would have accidentally killed himself on the waterfall by now, honestly? If it happens by accident, I'll take it, all right? say that. You know what to do there, but then you don't. Wind. Come over here. Don't like that hill. Damn it, that one is like that sometimes for some reason. Roll out of there. Damn it, he's half. The other guy's probably coming. Shit! Get over here, buddy. We need to stagger you right now. Not dead. I'm as good as dead, let's be honest. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he just kept... There's too many breaks. It's hard to stay aggressive enough on him to get the stagger off. Also, wasn't really trying with the sword art. I gotta get at least one of those in there. Thank you, Kane, for letting me know that about a fourth of my total deaths have come from this fight. Good to know. Really interesting factoid. Little Tolkoto trivia for everybody. Thank you, Kane. Let's do one of these attacks that's safe to do the weapon art on every time. This one? Nope. In fact, that was incredibly unsafe. What's the opposite of safe? Who made Mikey so sassy tonight? Valiant Gargoyles did. Who do you think? Who could it be? Could be Melena? Melena! God! Can't even say these names. That's a good start. You think that this would be one you can do the art attack for, but not really. Oh, I got him, but no stagger yet? Right here. This one's got a stagger. This is gonna be a lot of damage. Oh, I really needed to not let that hit me. Okay, enough damage in. Still hit me. What the hell? What the hell? Okay. I was lucky. Almost whiffed it. Thank you for subscribing. Drink your milkshake with pride. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, Christ. Oh, what's that twin blade? Maybe that's a cool weapon. I don't know. Oh, that's a strength weapon. Okay. 50,000 souls. Yeah, look, I think we did that a little early. That's okay. What a good fun time for us all. First try. Woo! Hey, look, it was fun. It was fun to just struggle through it and get it down. Man, that was tough. Oh. Oh. I'm not gonna lose my souls. We're spending them right now. Gonna be great. Somehow I didn't lose the souls ever, but we got that going for us. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Special weapon, the pond waterfall. Right. I'm going to go to the bathroom, which I've had to do for a while now. I want you to know. Get a drink. You'll just chill out at the waterfall here. I'll be right back. Decided I've earned a beer. They stopped staring at my guy's thighs. Holy shit. Alright. I mean, there's the casket. You're saying I'm supposed to do something else before the casket, or I think you're lying. I don't think there's a secret weapon behind that waterfall. I think that was a trick. I'm just gonna go use this. I did. I just leveled up. We're good with the souls. This is not one of the gender-changing coffins. Would I trust Dan putting me coffin? Absolutely not. No way. Whee. There's another gargoyle on the cup dances. It'll be fine. Even like the coffin is actually better than casket. Casket's what freaks me out. Like casket matches, I wouldn't want to be in a casket and have it closed on me. I wouldn't want that. Like a casket that's just like wood. Dan, you think you'd like it? Yeah, you probably would. Aren't they the same thing? No, the casket. Which one's which? One of them is like the wooden box that the other one goes into. The other one's like the one that's like the fancy bed and it's all ornate. And alright, I don't think we're going any further into this for a moment. Let's go check. Maybe we'll go to the plat. Well, yeah, we alright. What's one of the fucking towers? Can I go through this thing now, finally, maybe? I should go talk to Fia. Fia might have something to tell me. Yeah, like the one is like that one that, like, you know, it's like the cartoon one, right? It's like kind of like bad in the middle. And the other one's like the one you actually see. Like the ones you think of like Old West stuff. Fia.
I am pleased. Would you like me?
No.
Then good day to you.
He's gonna say something new eventually. What the hell's going on? Just a cosmetic mirror. Alright. Yeah, we never did visit this guy. Or do the... No, we did, but there's like shit up there we haven't done. Which like we could maybe do. We should probably just yeah. I mean, there's the plateau. Probably just to do stuff in the plateau. One of these things has to be one of those towers. Like, this is probably one. I wonder if I can get to it. Maybe. I guess I haven't tried. Let's see. Maybe if I... Oops. What would be the best way? Okay, so we can go up it. That's below it. Oh, this probably gets up it, though. Let's try. Woof! I'm still, like... Still trying to settle down my nerves from that. Oh, that's way up higher than I thought. I can't get there from here. I have to get in from the... Is the gate open? Maybe the main gate's open and we can just go this way now. Yeah. Yeah, send your ashes. Get code grandma at the Game S P.O. box, everybody. Best way to do this. Yeah, I wonder if Millennia is going to take me more tries than those gargoyles. I doubt it. What am I doing here? How can I get up there? Send all your powders through the mail. You just don't have to worry about anybody hurting me here. You mean what the waterfowl dance? Which that's something that should be a stupid name for something, but it's actually awesome. Waterfowl dance. Watching that speed run, I did kind of notice how the guy sort of like, he almost kind of like dodged it and then kind of walked back towards it. I'm like, does that work? Like, how do I can't even get into the courtyard. That's what I'm trying to do. That's where I'm trying. What is that? Never been over there. Remember when this part was hard? Still feel like I'm in the wrong area necessarily. This is satisfying. Yeah, this isn't going to be the easiest way to get through there. Maybe go over here and then... Yeah. I'm sure we can probably kill this guy incredibly easily now. Yep. Oh, is that a golden seed over there? Look at that. Nice. How did I miss that before? I must have walked right by it. Oh my god, this guy should not kill me. Okay, the gate should be like over here somewhere. Yep, never went here. This is it. Alright, fine. I'll roll my way through. Jeez. Fucking assholes. How many of you guys are here? Damn. I remember this area now. Right? One of these things. Alright, this is where I wanted to go. It's this tower, yeah. I just never done this before. Perfecto. Sure is ornate. Still can't get my horsey. Oh, those guys aren't so tough. Guess it's a good thing we did this so much later. To the arrow one. Ow, from what I remember, they have less health anyways. Oh, thank you. Ow! Thank you, tower. Shocking how easy they are to kill. Yeah, these guys are nothing after the fucking gargoyles. The gargoyles in Dark Souls also give me trouble. I'm just bad with gargoyles. Here we go. Not that, not the show. What am I looking at here? Is my favorite from game? No, Sekiro is. Then this. I thought that was like in a guy's crotch at first. Alright, now let's start doing some plateau stuff, huh? Dark Souls 1? I don't know, 20 hours? 15 hours? I forget how long it took me. I wish there'd be a Switch 2 update for that. I should have probably done this a while ago. Well, there we go. We got a nice little boost now. I bet we could put something on and still get light rolls. Maybe not. Actually, I guess no. Jeez. But like. All right. Should we just make a beeline for the capital right now? Probably. Fun stuff to do in there. I really want Somber Smithing Stone 7 now. That's some help. Jeez. Oh, shit. Jeez. don't know why I would fight these guys. Just run past them. It was pretty freaking cool. I'm a little concerned about these bows. Or I guess I should be concerned about the sword. Reach the gate! Again, why would I fight these two? No way that could be. Oh, because they're bosses. They're bosses for another day is what I think. Fuck you. Absolutely not. At least let me get this grace. Maybe then I'll run back to you. Oh, and there's a gold seed here. Who? Oh, yeah. Oh, they're still here. There they go. Oh, baby. Class number 10. And the map. Alright, let's see what it's like trying to fight these guys. Can't imagine it possibly being worth it. A lot of damage to them, at least. That one's not even aggroed yet? Alright. Has I gotten the bleed yet? Good news is the other one really does not care that I'm fighting this guy. There's the lead. Alright, that's one. Okay, I don't think I got any souls yet because I just killed one of them. I think we still need to kill the other one. Damn it. This one doesn't have a shield, which is nice. Forgot that not every fight needs to be absolute hell. I'll die now. There's my souls. Ooh, Archery Great Shield Heroes rune. That's a big boy rune. How much do those give? 1,500. If I get a couple of levels just from these, do it. The bonfire's right here. It's fine. Alright. Probably wouldn't mind getting Dex to 45 now. There's a couple more. Their curiosity. Still more from Dex to Strength. Figure's gotta be at 40 at some point. Yeah, we'll split the difference for funsies. Yes, my next weapon upgrade will give me a very big boost. Away from stairs for a big weapon. What's away from stairs? Like, you mean this way? Yeah, like one of these. Like this little ruin here. Opposite. Yeah. The opposite of the stairs. I mean, do you mean this ruin? Because if it's not this, you don't have more exact coordinates. This is a bit much of a game of south from this even? Wait, like this thing? South from my current location. I'll just go south. See what happens. There's a cave. There's a cave. What's he doing? Ow. Well, that was generous. Whatever that thing was, it's dead. Oh, another golden seed. That's cool. Look on the caravan. All right, these things. They always have treasure. Oh, giant crush. That seems neat. Yeah, I'm not really doing a hammer build, but that's neat. Colossal weapon. Take this, cheap. Cave is valuable. Whoa, there's a dragon. Is that a fucking gargoyle? Jesus Christ. I know your tricks now. Christ. This is that third gargoyle you all talked about, yeah. get staggered already. I don't think this guy's gonna respawn. Maybe. That'd be rude. Got him. I got his axe. Here, let's test it right now. I kind of need this back anyways. We'll run past him if he respawns. That's not worth fighting every time. I assume you mean this cave. I don't know what's in there. If there's, I'll tell you what, there's a somber smithing stone 7 in there, I'll go in there. Otherwise, I'm not worried about it right now. I kind of want to, at least before bedtime here, maybe poke a little bit into the city. Yeah, they're unique enemies. Yeah, it's a mine. Maybe next time. Let's at least get one more grace. Come on. God, we are just getting rained on with golden seeds. It's a veritable golden shower. I did Erdtree before, not yet on this run, but ooh well. I mean, I assume we should do everything else and then do Erdtree, right? Oh, it's one of these. Where'd he go? Oh, is he higher? I suppose I could just open this door. Nope. I need to go on that side. That guy gonna throw shit at me. We're going this way. Ugh. Hey, you again. Hey, Masters. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's a lot of souls. Damn, it's just a better version of that? Hell yeah. Greatly researched. Can I put shoes on yet? Nope. That's a lot of souls. You just finished DK64 101? Nice. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? It is kind of fun to do that. Were you bothered by the beavers? What's up ahead? Honestly, now I'm thinking maybe we just get this Grace and we do go in that cave, then at least think about starting to call it a day. Took over 24 hours. I think that's about what mine was, right? "90 minutes of your brother." I think that sounds about right.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika.
How come you never want to talk to me? You just want to tell me things America said a long time ago. Why can't we chat?
In Marika's own words, hear me, demigods, make of thyselves that which ye desire. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices.
That's rough. Mine was 5. No, not every stream was 10 hours each. Some of the streams were a good deal shorter than that, especially the Tuesday and Thursday ones. And Gleam was 35 hours. Oh, longer than I thought. Where's this kite? I'm gonna get rid of it. There we go. It's over there. Get in there. Oh my god, am I gonna get something else over here? Alexander? Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, the upgrades are huge here. Imagine if I came here for just a little bit first before. And running out of potions wasn't necessarily a problem. Again? Now what do you want to say?
Spoken echoes shall I share them? In Marika's own words, I declare mine intent to search through understanding of the proper way. Those blissful early days of blind belief are long past, my comrades.
Bone and cheese. Didn't I just get a secret tear? What item did I get here? What did this give me? Am I crazy? Did I not get a secret tear? I didn't pay attention because I assumed I did. I did not know about 2 beaver bothers in the castle, and that really bothered me. Okay. I don't get it. I didn't get a sacred tear here. They always do. I thought I picked one up. I feel like a crazy person. I just gotta. Maybe I got one more golden seed instead. The distinct possibility. No secrets here, okay. Well. There's the cave. Getting down there is perhaps... I go... Figure this out. I think the sacred tears are almost more valuable than the golden seeds. Yes, I'll do. Really? How'd I miss? Get over here. There you go. Got it. Do we have here? Oh god, that's right, I forgot I had more. Am I crazy? How do I get down here? No, mystery solved. Oh, nice. Probably be able to buy some of these now. Hey, Micros. Yeah, I didn't find patches yet. Not bad. Going pretty good. We were struggling with some gargoyles earlier, but we got past it. Oh, there's more clips tonight. I think I gave Fire plenty of material. Don't worry about that. Thinking about getting Steam Machine? I'm thinking about it. I'm on the... I did sign up. I'm on just the wait list, though. And I don't know. One of those things like, I want one. Do I really need one? Probably not. There's probably more visible walls somewhere. Yep. Did the GDQ all bosses run inspire this? I think I actually started before that. So no, that run was awesome. I've watched, I don't know, just the fact that honestly, it's the fact that I never did Millennia properly that's really inspired this entire playthrough. Down there. So many illusions. Like, all right, you keep your secrets. You didn't die. See, good. Good. It's over here. I don't know what these guys think they're accomplishing. I think this guy's fucking with me. Hey, Pick Prime. Thank you so much for 7 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Alright. Sounds like it's not anything important over there. That's fun. Ooh, going right at 9. Bing. Look, I wouldn't do a troll message, but I get it. Is there steak or anything here? What's over here? Yeah, I think they're lying to me. It almost is kind of part of the fun. Onyx Lord. Great, something else I probably can't bleed. Actually, I don't know. that it? Oh, it's so bad. Seek grasp, pathetic sword. Ionic sword is not hard. Too bad, 'cause he almost had a neat move set. Don't want to go. Now, where is this going? God, we're really close to level up. Like 1,000. Oh, another divine tower. Yeah, I don't even have, whatever. Good to know. We're not doing that yet.
I am pleased. Would you like?
Sure. I could use a hug. Right there are the gargoyles.
You are so.
Nothing changed there. Oh, talking
I
secret.
was known as a deathbed companion.
Have a little chat.
Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of
You're stealing my
champions,
warmth.
I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life. To do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace and chased from my birthplace. Pray, be kind. Despite all that, I still wish to be a deathbed companion. So please, let me hold you like this, as often as it takes. My dear, might I ask something of you?
I thought I was gonna ask her a
please
favor.
find the owner of this dagger and return it to them? A certain person gave it to me as a gift. It's a very precious thing. It must have a special place in the owner's heart. So I would like for the original owner to have it back, if you wouldn't mind. I'd like you to find the owner. It's a very precious thing. Then good day to you.
Okay. Got a special dagger now. Wonder who it belongs to. I just have to probably look it up online. Hey, where's that item I need to take? I don't know if it's a key item. What's that thing called? To get rid of this freaking thing. I do get another one, right? The hug debuff, yeah. Can't remember what it's called. Falchions Blessing. Yeah, I don't... There it is. You can make smithing stones now. Look who it is.
Have you ever felt the curse? With your whole being, the pox upon life itself, feared and despised by all. Apparently not. You are but a lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. I've been long without peace. Don't spoil my quietude.
Yeah, I can't exactly kill this guy. It's not like I'm allowed to target him.
Not be thankful of the whole. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay.
I'm not going for poop ending.
I ask thee thankful of it is all that.
Yeah, I can't actually attack him, right? He's not yet. He's pretty loathsome. That part was pretty true.
Well, wonderful. Make the journey to the capital, Lendel, that lies to the east of the Altus Plateau. The Two Fingers will do. You may be our best hope, for we are Tan. Is that potion what I think it is? Bloody Celadus. I suppose he's up to something again.
Oh,
I won't interfere.
Morrowind theme. I'll work on that.
You
Yes.
go ahead and do
Yeah.
what
We'll
you
do
must.
that after this.
The Round Table has no code to speak of. But I ask you this. Are you really going to do the bidding of that twisted dolly botherer?
No.
Or would you rather hand that potion to me and see if we can't get one over on the bastard? Good. I'll dispose of the potion myself. You go and see Celadus, but don't give anything away. Just tell him that you tricked your mark into drinking the potion, as planned. Despite knowing next to bloody nothing, he's so far up his own arse he won't suspect a thing. His inevitable display of arrogance will certainly be a sight to behold.
Alright. Good for today. Level 70. How about that? Good stuff. 166 Fs. Jeez. I think I might be able to find the notes for Morrowind theme for Tin Whistle, actually. This one I should just learn. No, let me see. Oh, I never even turned on my wavelength thing. There you go. There's your Morrowind. Do-do-do. 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 Man, it's too bad Jeremy's soul had to be a fucking chud too. But yeah, I do love that music. Yeah, alrighty. I remember, because I didn't play Mario when I was younger. AJ did though, and he had it on a lot of his video game playlists, and I heard a lot of those with him, so I was very familiar with the Morrowind theme. I remember even even when Oblivion came out, how cool I thought it was, like, when they did the trumpet fanfare version of the Morrowind theme. Like, oh, and I liked how the Morrowind theme just became the Elder Scrolls theme. I think that's good. Then of course that Skyrim trailer, which was an all timer, when it's like that Nordic like chant awesome version of it. Still so freaking cool. Still gives me goosebumps. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Why don't we go say hi to Mary Kish? Playing some kind of game with the word cat in the title. I'm shocked. Yes, the Meows is the best version. That's Minotti. All right, once I had Mary, thanks for hanging out. See you for the Bombcast tomorrow. And last night, 10 Dogs in the evening. Plenty of fun to be had. You all have a good night. Bye-bye.